Hey everybody, I hope you're doing great. It's been a while, hasn't it? Um, this is a cool background, huh? This is a new one for me. I'm actually sitting on my bed and there's a bright window behind me. Anyway, I'm on my bed for a reason because I wanted to tell you about something a little different today. I want to tell you about something that's been, I don't know, almost a miracle in my life. But I won't call it a miracle. It seems like that, but there are more logical reasons for it. Um, if you don't know, you probably don't know that I have struggled with sleep for years. I've struggled getting to sleep. I wouldn't say that I have insomnia. It's probably not that bad, as I've never gone to see a doctor about it. But ever since around the middle of college, I've just been really had a hard time going to sleep. And it's because my mind just is thinking, always thinking. I'm a kind of a natural daydreamer. I'm always thinking about, and usually it's about good things. Is like, what would life be like if blah blah blah? And I'm sort of planning my life or whatever. Anyway, or I'm thinking about business, and so I anyway. But the great news is, in the last maybe 3 weeks or so, I've had no problems getting to sleep. None. Like, I hit the pillow and boom, I'm out. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. But in the past, like it's been a problem for 15 years. I've taken a lot of Nyquil. Sometimes I'll go like a month. Man, I don't know if I'd do it every night for a month, but yeah, I know it's not good for me. But what's the alternative? Not sleeping. When you're not sleeping, you sort of nothing else really. Well, not nothing else matters, but you know you gotta sleep. So, for a while I was doing a few things. I'm actually just finished journaling about this, and I wrote some things down. Yeah, so I would take NyQuil, um, and sometimes that would work, sometimes it wouldn't. Um, in the last year or so, it's been a little bit better because I've found a sleep meditation that I listen to in my with earphones, and I'd wake up with my earphones wrapped around my neck. But it has helped. Also, I learned about melatonin in the last year, and that has been a good replacement for a NyQuil. Although sometimes I would take, if that didn't work, I'd get up again and take the NyQuil, and I'd do the sleep meditation anyway. But it's been better in the last year. But in the last 3 weeks, I have not done any of those things. Like, it's just put my head down, decide I want to sleep, and sleep. So, what's changed? Let me tell you. And if you're struggling with sleep, uh, you might want to try some of these things. It's because this is what has worked for me. I'm going to tell you about 5 things that I've done differently lately, and I wish I had tried them one at a time because maybe it's just one of them. I don't know, but maybe it's the combination of all these things that did it for me. But I'll go sort of in order of what I think is most important for me anyway. Maybe you will be different. First thing was I found a new sleep meditation, a different one, in the last few months. I started using Headspace, the app. It's on Android and iPhone. I've been using it just for meditation, and it turns out that it has a sleep meditation in it too. I didn't know about this, and I just tried it once, and it just boom knocked me out like that. That was almost like a miracle. It was like I had trouble sleeping, and then I started using it, or I used it the first time, and then just immediately just right to sleep after it. Um, so you might want to try that. It's a little different than the other sleep meditations. It's more practical. It takes you through a few exercises, like just thinking about your day and fast forward, and then focusing on each part of your body and telling it to relax, and then at the end counting backwards from 1,000. You're not supposed to get to zero. If you're going for a few. Anyway, I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be, but it's really good, and it's something that you don't need to listen to be able to do it on your own. The other thing I've been doing more consistently lately is reading before bed. Reading I read a lot of business books and self-improvement books, but not those won't work because that'll just make me think more. But what you want to read, what I read before bed, are stories, like just regular fiction books or even nonfiction books that are like a true story or something. But a story that sort of shuts down your thinking brain, and it sort of quiets your mind. I've been reading a really great book lately called Snow Crash, by Neal Stephenson. I've done this before, reading before bed, and have not had this effect. So maybe it's the book that I'm reading, or maybe it's in combination with these other things. So the third thing that I think is a big deal, and I already mentioned, is the meditation. I've tried meditation off and on for the last couple of years, but in the last few months I've really been sticking with it, and I've been using the Headspace app that I mentioned, and it's hard to say. It's like the actual benefits of using it, but I think the benefits for me personally, I've found, are subtle. It's hard for me to tell, but I do think that it has helped me sort of reduce this cluttered, racing mind that I have. Like, if you're a busy person like I am, you have a lot going on, your head is just full of stuff and it's racing from one thing to the next. And I really do think it has helped me to sort of slow that down, clear it out, think of things, individually, and generally has reduced my stress, I think. So I think that's a big part of it, and it reminds me of there was an interview on Alec Baldwin's show. He has a radio show on NPR, or he did, and I listened to him interview Jerry Seinfeld, and I love Jerry Seinfeld. So it was surprised to hear Jerry say that they were talking about sleep, and Alec Baldwin says, "Oh, sleep is so hard," and Jerry says, "You know the best. Have you ever had a night where you wake up feeling that was the best sleep I've ever had of my life?" And Alec said, "Oh yeah." And he said, "Imagine that every night." And so I heard this. I'm like, "Whoa, every night? How do you do this?" And Jerry said it's simple. He does meditation, specifically transcendental meditation, which you can look that up. So I thought, maybe I'm tapping into this. The other thing is, and these last two things I think are less key to my better sleep, although maybe not. One is just general less stress. Lately, I won't get into this now, I fired my my customer service rep for my store. He was having all kinds of problems. It was giving me lots of stress, and I finally bit the bullet and fired him. And that could be making a difference. And so I had a lot less stress after I fired him, but I have had more stress as started to have to deal with. Okay, now I have to do all this work when I'd really rather be doing other things. Um, so I I had immediately less stress a few weeks ago and then a buildup of some more. So I don't know if that's really it. Another thing is not working right before bed. Now I haven't done this for at least a couple of years, so this is not a recent thing. But if you do work right before bed, like I used to like work late at night after everyone went to bed, and then try to go to sleep, and that just doesn't work for me. Like if I'm working, I need like at least an hour or two of just wind down for my mind to stop going 1,000 miles an hour on work stuff. Um, so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I know this video is long, but if you're like me and sleep is really a problem, like man, it can be a I was gonna say it can be a nightmare, but wouldn't you have to get to sleep in order for it to be a nightmare? uh, anyway, so I hope, if you have trouble sleeping, maybe you can try some of this. I really do I love Headspace. Like I'm not an affiliate with them. Yeah, I really should get paid because it's a amazing system. There's another app that's similar called Calm, um, that other people sort of recommend. The two of them like one or the other. I've used Calm and I prefer Headspace way better. Headspace, it's not free. You have to pay monthly or like annually or whatever. But it's totally worth it. And Headspace is more expensive than Calm. I think it's like double the price. Instead of like $6 a month, it's like 12. But totally, totally worth it. I don't think they're even in the same